Are you ready? Can Crush Us. It don't really get no better than this the podcast that you're looking for if you're really heavy into wrestling. Hosted by the Mark. Energy that's so amazing. Gotta keep it entertaining. Rep the Can Crusher Nation. Yeah, you know what's going down in the ring. Lights out when you hit a ding ding. Knock 'em out like boom bada bing. Hold it down, you can crown me the king. Got a shout out to the Miz and Duke the Dumpster. We choke slamming everybody. Power driving, hit 'em with a face buster. Yeah, this the show you need and it ain't no need for waiting. Mark, hold it down for the Can Crusher Nation. All about wrestling and keep it entertaining. Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. Time to break 'em, let's go. Yeah, Can Crushers. Yeah, Can Crushers. Let's go.
Hey, this is former WWE superstar Duke the Dumpster Drosy, and you are listening to the Can Crushers Podcast.
Welcome to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. I'm in the mood tonight, brother.
That was good, brother.
Yeah. That man over there that you can't see but is taking a drink and is sexy and appealing is Sir Michael Jenks. I am Mark the Mark. Welcome to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast, people. I don't know, Jenks. This is only the first one that I spilled as soon as we hit record.
Listen, I know I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Tink through Skype. Sir Michael Jenks. First and foremost, I don't care how your week is right now.
Oh,
you don't care how my week is right now. Did you see, and I know you saw, because we talked, the huge news from Can Crushers? Again, folks.
I did see. We are styling and profiling some more.
Woo! We are. Guys, yeah. We have a new sponsor, yet again. Keep rolling them in.
Yeah, that's our fake clapping.
No, that's the real clapping because you're doing it.
Wasn't sure if it was picking up or not well, but
I heard it. I'm sure they're going to be thrilled with it.
Probably. It's gonna
Two cheers for us.
Yes.
That's where you're supposed to do hip hip hooray, but never nonetheless.
About that hip hip hooray. Okay.
You are going to see another link in the description. Make sure you click on it because it's awesome. Jenks and I have worked out this amazing deal. It is called Buy Blacket. T-shirts, hoodies, tees, coffee mugs, some other stuff out there. But it's not wrestling. It is everything. It is stuff from dogs, which there's a couple dog hoodies on there that I want. Yep. There's football stuff. There's gym stuff for people that like to do gym stuff. I was thinking very first co-host, Paul Bowlers, is going to be all about that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like some of the gym stuff that's on there, I'm like, oh, that says Meathead Paul all over it. There's beer stuff, which is up our alley.
Yep.
And then there's Christian stuff, too, which, listen, we both have hoodies coming on the way.
We do.
And I think when we get them, that's the perfect time to spruce up our logo picture.
Oh, I like it. Oh. That was a nice little idea you got there. I like that. I like that a lot.
So, in the link below, and I'm going to give Jenks his time to talk about this because he's already perused the website to check it out. It's Buy Blacket, okay? But click on the link. You will get 15% off anything that you buy on that because you listen to Can Crushers. Yeah. And there's sweet ass shit on there. By the way, I hope they understand how we're going to just Can Crusher the sponsorship that they want us to talk about. Like, I'm sure they're like, oh, I hope Mark doesn't swear all the time when we're talking about this. Clearly, he likes the podcast.
I was going to say, clearly, we're not going to fucking do that, so don't worry about that. But, man, they have so much variety. T-shirt, if you think you like a hoodie, but you want a T-shirt, they probably have it in a T-shirt form or a muscle shirt, tank top, whatever.
Long T-shirt.
Long T-shirt as well. So they have the varieties. They have mugs. They have anything you want. And there's a number of varieties in that. Take it all in, and then make your selection. That's what I'll say first, because that's how I did it. I walked through each individual one, said, like this, and this, and then I started saying, that's really nice, that's really nice, that's really nice.
We're not telling you, by the way, what we got until
you're not allowed to know that.
Yeah.
You can't know that.
I was almost going to. Jenks had to tell me. Listen, Jenks had to tell me so I could place the order. I was almost not going to tell you until we got our.
Oh yeah, he was going to be very, very secretive about what he got, and then I think he felt the obligation to share.
He did. I felt bad.
That's fair.
That's
very nice of you. Very Christian of you to share.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, guys, make sure you click on that link. It is the first link in the description. It'll stay at the first for a while. 15% off anything you buy from there. Complete order, not just one item, 50% off. Complete order. So that's a lot. So that's really cool. Make sure you check it out. What else do you want to talk about, Jenks?
I don't know. How was your week?
I was pissed when we ended this podcast last week.
After?
After.
Yeah.
Completely after. Probably an hour and a half after it really got buffed, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. There's a definite lag to the excitement that you had during that time.
There was. So, Jenks, I will say this right now. I know the outcome of it. I didn't go back and watch it. I was so pissed. And the downfall was, we're talking about the Tyson and Paul fight that happened last week that I was so excited about. The first 3 or 4 I got to watch. They were okay. What I saw of the women's, which I wanted to see more than Jake and Mike, looked amazing. And then we got to the main event. In every streaming service that I have, I couldn't even see Tyson's ass, which was the biggest star of the.
That was prominent.
Right.
Beginning of it,
which was the biggest star of the whole pay-per-view. I got so pissed. This does wrap back into wrestling, folks. Don't worry.
Well, I was just going to say that the only reason it was the biggest part of the show was because it resembled Rikishi so much at that point that it's walking around in the black tights and whatnot. But
yeah.
I will say I did not tune in. I wasn't tuning in yet, and then I saw Twitter was just a flurry of Mike Tyson's ass cheeks.
That made you tune in.
I thought, I'm like, oh God, this is a shit show. This is wrestling all over again. And then I started seeing the buffer comments start popping in. And I'm like, I have no reason to buy this right now because if this is a shit show, why would I even turn this on? So it wasn't even worth it.
Why talk about this? Well, because in a month and a week, you're going to have one of the biggest shows of WWE put on this Netflix thing.
Yep. Yeah. And it's going, to your point, it's going to be one of their biggest shows. They're going to do a lot more pulling out all the stops. WWE has probably only warned them about, hey, we have this type of audience, usually on a week-to-week basis. They haven't warned them about the season premieres, the first episodes. Those considerably bump ratings because they're sitting there pumping everything they can to get your eyes on the product at that point.
A spoiler that The Rock's going to be on that show.
Yep.
A spoiler that, and I don't know. The Rock, I would bet the 12-pack of beer that I bought today that The Rock will be on that show.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
But what about, you mentioned that Stone Cold, and that's only us. That's only me mentioning it. I won't even throw Jenks under the bus. You mentioned that Stone Cold is going to be on just saying hi to everybody on Netflix on that show. The buffering that Tyson and Paul had is going to blow the fuck out of Netflix.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Because Stone Cold, that glass shatters. Even if people aren't even on it yet, the glass shatters, it's on the internet. People are logging in at that point forward. You may not get the initial rush, but you'll have it by 8:15, and shit's going to blow the fuck up. So you don't even have, if you don't have your ducks in a line, you're fucked at that point. On that
quack, quack.
They have, what's amazing about this, and maybe it's some good planning on their part, the Paul Tyson fight was test 1. NFL on Christmas Day is test 2. They have a month and a half to figure it out before it even gets to Raw, and they have a test product.
Yeah.
Lined up. I don't know if we're going to...
And it's a pretty big game, not just because I'm a Steelers fan, but
right.
Steelers Chief, not talking about what happened this week with the Steelers in Christmas Bowl 2024, but
the Snow Globe.
They're still both playoff teams on Christmas when Christmas is over.
Yeah. Christmas is done.
Us are going to be looking for something to do.
That's
the
exactly
kids are going to be playing with the toys. This is going to sound so much like a dick. The wives are still going to be chatting amongst themselves. Mm-hmm. We're like, all right, we're Christmased out. It's what it is.
Well, that's what happens every year.
Right.
By the time you get through all the pageantry, it's like, dinner on the tree. I'm ready for. Let me just watch. Football. Yeah. You're 18 hours into a Christmas Story.
Right.
You're done for the year on that. You're done wishing the Heat Miser and Snow Miser their Merry Christmases and Happy New Years and Feliz Navidad. You're looking for that.
How about Dominic the Donkey? Are you all right with him yet?
I've always been all right with Dominic and Donkey. I was sacrificing one of my favorites with Heat Miser and Snow Miser.
Okay.
So, but listen, we gotta go. We're gonna get talking about that again. But yeah, you're at that point where it's like, okay, Christmas is done. We're wrapped. It was a beautiful year, beautiful again this time of year. Let me fucking unwind, beer in hand, watch a game, watch something.
Netflix, you better. Let me just say that. You better.
Better you bet. Yep.
So my week was good.
That's good.
To wrap it back around to our real stuff that we talk about. My week was good. I hope everybody got to listen to the return show on Wednesday of Jackie Go from Germany. Unbelievable interview with her. Germany's 6 hours difference, Jenks. Did you know that? So we kind of did this. It was random. It was like 4 o'clock here. It was 10 o'clock there. She was getting ready to go to bed. I'm getting ready to drink when we were doing all this. So still an amazing interview. We talk about Germany wrestling. We talk about some, the cool stuff. But
yeah,
she was really fun. She was really fun to hang out with.
It's good.
And the rest of the week, I worked and played video games. Let's just call a spade a spade. I did nothing.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No. I did sign up to do basketball again, by the way. So basketball season starts in about 2.5 weeks.
Just this,
not you playing.
No, I was going to say, just to clarify,
radio. Radio, please.
Mark's long past crossing up people at Seawolf City.
I couldn't even dribble right now with this pinched nerve. So, not happening.
Yeah, that's not good.
How about you?
Oh, man. My week was okay. I'm trying to remember what the hell I did last weekend, to be honest. The week itself was good. It was a long week at work, but it's because we're in between things. So you're in between projects, you're kind of fiddling around trying to find stuff to fill the void, right?
Yeah.
It's the holiday season, so now I have remote bank days that I need to burn before the end of the year.
Ooh, okay.
Here we go. So I'm doing that now. and was getting ready for tomorrow or today while you guys are listening to this, because I'll be out dancing, singing in the rain, taking some photos and whatnot. So we actually went out, we had to pick out places that we wanted to go get our photos taken for engagement photos and whatnot. Piece together a place. We know where we're going to do it.
Snow that's going to be in Erie.
In the rain and snow. So luckily, the love of my life bought me a new pea coat to be fancy just at work. Ooh. So I'm going to be showing that off. She'll show off her one, and we'll be having a good time. So, but yeah, resting up before the pneumonia hits in the next couple of days. So we'll get there. We'll get there.
Next Friday when you hear from Sir Michael Jenks.
How are you guys doing?
A little bit of a brag, Jenks. I only have 3 days of work this week, then I'm off for 12. Yeah!
Good job. I have, the hell do I have off? 2 days of work. I'm off for 5. So.
Both wins.
Both are wins. I'll take them.
Nice. So. Wrestling happened. Since we're 15 minutes into the show, people are like, Jesus.
You know, and that's the thing, you guys, we haven't even talked about any video games in depth or anything like that, so I'm just saying.
No,
got the blessings.
Since you want to wrap this back around,
you're welcome.
Man, I thought we meaning Pitt, last week, we had a nice dub. This is piss poor coach management. You have the ball with like 1:40 to go. Just kick the field goal and win.
Just be done with it.
Instead, you quickly get down there, kick the field goal. You give them the ball back with like 1:18 left. 3 fucking plays later, they score a touchdown. So you still have 45 seconds. Then you throw an interception. But on that interception, Jenks, by the time I got back to the car, I had made my first payment for next year. Oh. Even as salty as I was, I'm
they
like,
still got your money.
I'm like, sons of bitches. I did it walking out of the game. I'm like, this is my family. I can't let them down. It's just the last 3 games were bad. I'll do it again next year.
Listen, there's a chance for the playoff next year. They're going to be older, wiser, potentially better coached. So,
yeah,
you learn from your mistakes. Maybe.
Unless I'm coming out then, right?
Maybe.
To play video games with them.
Listen, you've won multiple national championships from the seat of your couch, so you can do it. You can do it.
I have been looking for a new game, by the way, Jenks. Now that you brought up video games, we were like, Jesus Christ, you two. You're hitting everything. Because we don't have a lot to talk about in wrestling. Let's just call a spade a spade. Predictions at the end of the show, though. I finally did it for about 15 minutes. I downloaded Lawnmower Simulator.
What'd you think?
I hated it.
It's not great.
No. I downloaded it, I'm like, it's been here so long. I played it. Maybe it was a lawnmower that pissed me off right off the get. I don't know. But I'm like, this feels like too much work. I'm like, I hate cutting my real grass. Yeah. Why the hell?
I will say it is mind-numbing activity. But if you need to just step away from reality, you could just sit there mindlessly cut along and just weed whack and do all this shit.
I have that game already.
Yeah.
It's Hunter Call the Wild.
Wild.
Yeah. I don't need another game that I need to buy 75 DLCs and I never use some of them. But I have to have them all.
Right. I mean, for this one, I have the PlayStation Plus, so I got it for free.
I did.
So I'm like, okay, cool. Get the dinosaur park, but man, those fuckers are difficult to cut around. I'll tell you that much. So it's not really saving me any time or place. I actually, even though I played that, it was like, okay, whatever. I went back to Madden, last year's Madden, and just said, screw it. pick a team, relocate them, fantasy draft it, and let's see what we can do. So I moved the team to Toronto, the Giants to Toronto, and Jordan Love's my quarterback, but not bad. Just started it, so we'll see what happens this year with that game.
I almost pulled the trigger on Madden because it's 50% off. Did you see that?
I did see that. I was very tempted. I'm like, I have Madden though. Why would I put another 50? I had to put money into new sneakers this week, so I was like, I'm not going to buy Madden or anything. These fuckers are nice sneakers, by the way.
You're bragging about your sneakers now. See, 6 months ago when I'm bragging about mine, you're like, oh, whatever. But
I was jealous of your sneakers, let's be honest. And I found them, they got fucking marked down on sale, but I've had them, so I actually got 2 pairs. One dropped $20 and the other one dropped about $7, so not too bad.
Look at you, thrifty shopper.
I am a thrifty shopper.
Yeah.
I'm learning some things from Kimberly, that's for sure. So,
touche. All right, the big news in professional wrestling. Tony Storm retires, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. It's over.
Done.
Well, since you've been wrestling since the 50s, it's kind of a thing that you have to, might be time to hang it up and just let it be. 70 years is a great career.
It really is. She still looks amazing for wrestling
it's
for
like
70
she
years.
hadn't aged at all of those 70 years. So,
Right. Yeah.
eat your heart out, Moolah and Mae Young. That's all I can say.
That was too much.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just attack Mariah at her celebration because that's what we knew was going to happen.
That's 100% what's going to happen. Like
they just didn't know how to get rid of the timeless stuff.
Yeah, but I will say this. I think they overthought getting rid of the timeless stuff, right? Because you can just come back and be you. The mental break's over. You have clarity.
Yeah.
Show it in New Japan and then get going.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Be a rocker again. Be whatever. Yeah. You're out of that era. Yeah.
Whatever you wanted to be. When you lose that title, when you lost the title, that's when you exited that era. Yep. That's your linchpin to bring you back to 21st century.
Yep. So, Tony, listen, we're going to do Full Gear predictions, but I need to get the Tony stuff out of the way now just because it's so stuck in my head. It's been stuck in my head since Wednesday.
Yeah.
She'll have to go through Mina to get to Mariah. So, beat the shit out of both of them today as you guys are listening. And in 2 weeks, she'll have a match with Mina. Something will happen. And then the next, we'll work our way to Tony and Mariah at the next pay-per-view.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing is I don't think Mina wants this match, but she's going to have it.
Yeah.
Because of how she's aligned herself right now with Mariah, which rightfully so, it makes sense. They have the history together, but yeah, she's in a corner right now.
That was the biggest. I would have been happier if Tony just showed up and didn't make an announcement. Once they made this announcement, I'm like, man, that was something I was looking forward to.
Yeah, 100%. But now it's like, okay, well, no surprise here. Yeah. She'll pop in, and it'll be something new. Or she'll send somebody else out.
Mm-hmm. More on that in predictions. Do you have any hot takes that you want to talk about?
Not hot takes. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell Adam Pearce is accomplishing on his social media feeds. I don't know if you've seen any of this.
I've seen a couple. What's up?
These random ass photos. I did some work beforehand, and I marked down all of the photos that he has on there. It ranges from AJ and Paige, who we all know as Saraya now, to Daniel Bryan, to Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton, FTR and Buddy, to all the way back to Mick, Seth, and Finn from 2016. Is he throwing people off the scent of things to come? Is he just fucking trolling people? I'm assuming it's that one. Or is he just saying maybe it's the end of a career at this point? Here's my highlights. Because to me, he's definitely just trolling fucking people on the internet because he's having fun with this. But
I go with the trolling as well.
Yeah.
You just keep breadcrumbing people, and they're like, oh my God, he's the one telling us something. Let's try to put this puzzle together.
And he made the point to put the Brock, Paul Heyman, and himself one out there because that was the hot topic of the day, the hot thought at that point.
Agreed. I want to go with something Cody said last week.
Okay.
When are we getting Cody and Nick Aldis in a match?
I feel like it's got to happen at some point. Or just Aldis in general getting a match.
I think that's a given without a doubt. He's made reference probably even like 3-4 months ago about kind of being in the ring or being this or being that.
Yeah.
Kind of, again, breadcrumbing our way to Cody.
Right.
I think it's one of the, get ready, the throwaway pay-per-views.
It could be.
Which could lead to a stipulation maybe at Mania. So I'm kind of putting this in February, Elimination Chamber.
Okay. It's in Toronto.
Right.
So, well, maybe.
Because there's not enough there yet.
Oh, no. There's not enough meat to anything at that point to make it worthwhile. I guess when are they going back to the UK? And is there a show there?
Well, that would be perfect. Then you're looking at probably like 6 months down the line.
That's what I'm saying. Then you're really building it in. Maybe at that point there's no title, and obviously the title might be off of him at that point. So it's kind of more or less like Cody's on a broken Cody Rhodes type mentality of, I lost my title, I've lost everything, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah. Either one.
Yeah.
I don't see it for a title.
No, I never saw it for a title,
so maybe,
but I think
maybe February was definitely stupid thinking of me.
Well, hey, maybe he won't have a title by then.
We're just clearly it's breadcrumbing your way to wrestling this week.
I think it is. Dropping those breadcrumbs.
That's even better. Love that. Do you have any more?
No, I got nothing more. I'm ready. Let's talk some shop here.
All right. So make sure you go to Buy Blacket.
Got to buy Blacket.
In the show notes, it takes you to the website. You buy anything you want, you get 15% off. And you guys cannot wait to see our apparel that we're getting. I'm so excited about this.
It's going to be amazing. You're going to love it. Love it. All right. I'll take it. So, with that, where am I going to go first? I'm blanking. WWEshop.com. Safe. We'll just stick with the clothing at this point. Man, I never get that shot. WWEshop.com. It's in the show notes. Click on the code and go ahead. You won't get a discount like you will at Buy Blacket, but you at least could get something nice for yourself or your family for the holidays. So go ahead and go to the shop affiliate code.
Staying with apparel, merchandise.
Fear's messing with me.
Collar and elbow hats, hoodies, tees, all the cool things that Al Snow and Hooligans have over at Collar and Elbow. Buy it up. Jenks' head just blew up on the other end.
The sponsor that's been here longer than I have, I could not fucking remember off the top of my goddamn head because I don't do them. And you have them on. Here's the problem. I don't do that order. That's not in my order. Okay. But it's me. It's me. I should pay attention more to the podcast I'm on.
Al Snow says there's more stuff coming soon. We have a promo code. What is it?
I know that. It's Can Crusher. Save yourself 10% when you enter it in on the site. collarandelbow.com. We make stuff. We have a shop of our own, crowd made. Hats, hoodies, shirts, tees, tanks, whatever you want there. Go ahead, buy some, support us. You can get them in multiple colors, sizes, whatever it is. So go ahead and get that from CrowdMade.
Don't forget, I have to live off of W when I'm doing a podcast with Sir Michael Jenks.
Well, yeah, you got to stay on your toes.
Really, though, W's awesome. In the morning, I take 2 scoops of my favorite flavor, put it in my shaker. I shake the shit out of it. and I drink it up, and it keeps me rocking and rolling for the whole day. There's no there's no crash, there's no calories, there's no cash, there's no carbonation, and yeah, it's great. It really is. It keeps everything going all day long, focused and everything. There's a ton of different flavors out there, but I will always tell you to buy Beach and Peach. Unless you don't like peach, then I'll tell you to buy like dragon fruit lemonade, but it's out there. Beach and Peach is the best way to go, and you can save money off by using Can Crushers for 10% as well. Jenks, I think even on the $20 like sample pack, right?
Which is amazing. Get your kick on, get it going, kick yourself in the ass by drinking it. You'll love it. Get W anytime soon.
You can listen to us anywhere the podcasts are. This is the worst sponsorship episode.
I think it's going great. Yeah, you can listen to us anywhere. Spotify, iHeart, etc. You know where we're at. You know where to find us. You can also find us on YouTube. You won't see our pretty faces except for what's the picture that appears on there. But you can still listen to us there. We'll try not to get kicked off once in a while, just so you can listen to us there.
It's only been once. We were just I really didn't think it was that vulgar that night, but it had to have been the title. It had to have been the title. But listen, if you can't find it on YouTube, head over to Spotify or any of those platforms to listen. Don't forget to join conversations on Facebook, X, Threads, Instagram. Join all the conversations there. Drop us a DM. And just like our homegirl last week, Cynthia, you can ask a question whenever you want, or criticize us, or just speak your mind, and we'll talk about it on the show. You can do that at cancrusher69@gmail.com, any of the DMs, or be as cool as Cynthia did and call in, right, Jenks?
Absolutely. You can call us at 814-299-6687. Call us, leave a message, do something. Try to limit it, or if you're just reaching out to maybe get on an Ask Can Crusher or get on a Can Crusher spotlight, that's fine too. Just leave us a message so we can talk to you and get that set up. You can also email us, cancrusher69@gmail.com. Put them in there, load up the email box. We're going to have an Ask Can Crushers eventually here at some point in the next couple months, so don't you worry about that.
Yeah, but the number one thing you need to do this week is go to Buy Blackick and buy. Just like Instinct.
Bye. Yeah. By the way, I watched Deadpool. That was in it. It was fantastic. I just want that known.
Do you realize, like, that's one of my favorite, like, all-time favorite songs? Like, there's no lie. And that's, I'm not even trying to rhyme right now. There's no lie that, like, Bye is one of my favorite songs. And I try to dance to it.
Oh, yeah. It's Bye is a certified banger that I think is forgotten about.
I agree. Jenks, before we go, and I'm going to get ready to hit unrecord real quick. Before we go to the next the next segment of the show, holy shit, I've only had half a beer. So. The next segment, sir. All of a sudden, you're podcast police. How well did I dance this week on TikTok?
You danced pretty well. Those moves were smooth as butter. Just say that.
We're coming back with wrestling.
What's up, guys? This is Jared Fritz, official for the NWA, and you're getting Ref Fit with the Can Crushers Podcast.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. If you made it through that first segment, good for you. You are a trooper.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think we had a fantastic first segment, one that will live on in infamy.
Yes, sure. So I went back.
I was going to say, what beer did you get?
I got I don't think we even mentioned that in the first segment. You guys know a couple months ago I got a ton of beer, and I just got this Firestone beer. What did I just have? I don't remember even what it was. There's more in the fridge. Segment 3, I'll tell you the first one I had because I'm going to go back to it. But I have the Union Jack again. This is slowly becoming, from Firestone.
Yeah.
This Union Jack is slowly becoming one of my favorites. Like, it's creeping up next to Yingling and Sam, without a doubt. And nothing's going to ever touch Finn and Matt's. I will throw that out there. Between memories and everything else involved around Finn and Matt, it can't be touched. Yeah. But this is creeping up there that, like, I would probably buy just a 12er of this.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm trying to remember. You had an IPA before, right? It was an IPA something, but I can't remember.
I can't remember
what it was.
It's so far away that I can't go look at it, by the way.
Yeah. Drastically far away.
I'll bring it back in segment 3. Trust me.
There you go.
This is definitely a 3 or 4 beer podcast.
Well, that's good because I'm already on beer 3. I had Warlock. So actually, I'll start the beer journey. After work, Railbender. Start the podcast, Warlock from Southern Tier. Now, I realized I still had a Boing Boing Gone, one from National Bohemian. So I'm enjoying this last one because this is a fantastic beer that I wish I had more.
Remember. So when me and Sir Michael Jenks get these amazing apparel from Buy Blacket, which you can get apparel. That's down in the show notes, by the way. So go and buy that up. You save 15% with that link. Jenks doesn't know this, but it will be delivered on a weekend that we can have a couple beers.
Oh, interesting.
But I'm inviting myself.
Oh, that's good to know. I can't wait for this weekend.
Just an up and back.
An up and back?
Not to live on your couch or anything.
No, that's fair, but I did not know this. This is fantastic.
I know, that's why I'm telling you. Because unfortunately, I also have to have you give something to the mooch that I got when I was in Cleveland. It's still in this house.
Do I need to give it to him?
Unless you want a Cleveland fucking flag.
I could take it to his house and then burn it on the front lawn.
And then I could piss on it as you're burning it. That would be even
we got this.
better.
We got this going well.
Make sure you get that Buy Blacket sale this week because they don't know what they've gotten themselves into. Jenks, let's talk about some WWE in a nutshell. We kind of ruined Raw last week. SmackDown was this. What was your overall take a little bit? Now chime in.
I mean, overall take, you're looking at it as we're now it's a new circumstance for WWE. They're giving time away for holidays, for stars and all that. We all believe in that. Hey, great. Give them time off, whatnot. But it's a little awkward of time because we get the results early. We know what's going on. And it's kind of just been a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks of Survivor Series cleanup. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And by that I say, people are saying, you're supposed to build to Survivor Series, build your pay-per-view. No, it just feels like it's like the go-home show of the week before where you're not giving too much away. You're just doing enough to get it over the hump.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it's felt like the past couple weeks. Now, with that being said, maybe it's because the bloodline stuff's a little bit more predictable than anything. Maybe there's some wrenches to throw in there. Whatever it is, the driving forces seem to have kind of grinded to a halt.
Well, let's start there. I'll pause you in your thoughts because this is probably my biggest thing. And it's not predictions. We're just going to talk because next week we'll have predictions for that. Jenks, is Seth Rollins going to be on, and don't answer it off the bat, is Seth Rollins going to be on the OTC's team, or are there two other options and they don't have either one way down? Seth Rollins is actually the third option because he still is there, and I'll put it that way.
I think, yes, the options are available to them. Now, I think WWE could go one of two ways to present these options to them. A, Paul gets a hold of Roman somehow, or B, maybe we're getting wool pulled over our eyes for a little bit and something happens leading up to the match. Maybe we're led to believe Seth is the fifth member begrudgingly until something happens where he's no longer the fifth member.
There's 2 Raws, essentially.
There's 2 Raws, yeah.
Until.
2 Raws, 2 SmackDowns.
Right.
Well, I guess one would have happened last night, but yeah.
Yeah. You guys already watched whatever happened.
Yeah.
But there's 2 Raws, there's 2 SmackDowns until. We both think it will be Seth. So we're saying on tonight's podcast. I'm going to throw this question out at you. Who was the last person that Paul Heyman talked to prior to having a phone? Because that's why he's not answering his phone.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a phone anymore. The poor guy's broke.
Yeah, he's broke. He doesn't have a phone. Solo destroyed it. Conveniently enough, the last guy he spoke to is the T-shirt I'm wearing right now, which is CM Punk.
And I knew you had a CM Punk T-shirt on, which made me go to this tonight. Unlike you having one of our sponsors that you have repeatedly said the sponsor code for, I don't know, about 3-4 years now.
Yeah, I know. And listen, things happen. The spotlight was too big. It was what it was. It happens.
Okay. Or there's another Paul Heyman guy out there, right?
Yeah, and maybe Adam Pearce wasn't trolling too much with the picture he posted.
Which would be the farthest fetch for me. Which would make the most sense, though.
It would make the most sense, and I don't think it's the farthest fetch. Because, I mean, technically Brock did help Roman one time. He attacked Cody Rhodes, but he helped Roman.
Sorry. Cody Rhodes just popped into my head. We talked about him already, but
yeah, we got to bring it back.
Yeah.
I
don't know where he is, and I'm going to say this because I'll go legal. I don't know where he is with TKO. There's some stuff that, yes, he is coming back, da-da-da-da-da. I don't know if you throw him in this unless we're going to get another Roman Brock match at some point, which I don't think that we don't. You know, I think we do get one at some point. Punk's probably healthy by now, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I think Punk's healthy. He probably wants to be in a War Games match before he's done. He debuted last year at War Games. The rating's there for Punk to take over. And theoretically, if he attacks Seth Rollins, it still carries the feud to WrestleMania 41. So,
because you could write, if he attacks him correctly, Seth can kind of be off until Royal Rumble.
Yeah, exactly.
Screw Punk out of Rumble. Mm-hmm. It gets really heated up at Elimination Chamber. And then it's a co-main event at Mania.
Yeah. It's perfect.
So Seth Rollins is not the fifth person. He will be announced probably at some point.
My other thought on this is it just would never make sense, and he said it himself, that Roman and him would coexist in the same ring.
And everybody's laughing at us because something happened last night, by the way.
But exactly, probably. But to me, theoretically, Roman hates Seth. Seth hates Roman.
Yep.
So unless we're just getting the wool pulled over our eyes, if something happens last night and they shake hands and they're how you do, or they're just nodding at each other, okay, I'll be in the here. That's fine, but I don't think that's lasting past Raw. Maybe not even SmackDown.
Right.
Leading
it
up
starts
to it.
SmackDown and then it ends SmackDown.
Exactly.
Yeah. That you guys already saw.
Well, I was talking about next week after the
okay.
go-home show, the actual go-home show to it, but same difference. Maybe it starts with Seth saying, all right, they all pissed me off. I need to come after them. And then it just doesn't happen by the end of the show.
So does Paul return this week or at Survivor Series?
I think Paul may end up returning next Friday night, Black Friday. So I think to this, you guys have watched it. Paul Heyman has returned, potentially by returning a phone call.
Right.
And then the following Friday is Paul Heyman's back in person.
Yeah. That's where I was. That's where I was too. I want to bring up one thing, and I can't remember it vividly, which is horrible for trying to get this across. But we talked last week about the the women's U.S. title tournament, essentially. There's ramifications in this tournament that would F shit up its Survivor Series. Don't, like, the Nia Bianca thing, that, like, there's just, like, so much going on that maybe Bianca, that we both think her and Jade are going to wrap this up in the finals, maybe we are wrong and we're all right with it. Because, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I think so. I think there's so many possibilities that are coming out of this now, and now learning that the advantage match is on Monday, I don't have the bracket in front of me, but I know Bianca has Tiffany, to be honest, in her side of the bracket. There's so much, and Chelsea, there's so much that can happen that just feels like it's going to throw everything off of the tournament just enough to cause many, many ripples, to your point. So, to that point, when are these matches taking place? Because theoretically, if they're doing one a week, to your point, Bianca this week, Jade next week, people are getting screwed out of things left and right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
did they think about that? Or are they going to do a massive, oh shit, shuffle?
I think they thought about that. I think they thought, listen, this is truly a mid-card title, but we need to put those main card women in it to go for it and wrestling. I think they thought about that so they could thin out the herd some way, somehow, to truly make it that. Bayley's going to carry it forward, potentially win it, but I think they purposely did it the way they did it, just to make sure that, hey, there's at least name recognition around this tournament.
Yeah. I'm now on your book that to continue Bayley as the first ever Grand Slam, Bayley grabs this to solidify. Yeah. So
she will be the horsewoman that actually accomplishes this. Versus the ones that debuted and started the women's revolution, she'll be the first true Grand Slam champion.
Yeah. What else you got? Because I paused you and we went all over the place.
No, you're good. You're good. I know you're not, but are you excited Nakamura's back?
Slightly.
Okay.
Slightly. Because he looked a little strong compared to what he has been in the last year.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not that I'm like, holy hell, Nakamura's back. But this is just a big win for LA Knight. And I hate to say that. Because he hasn't had big wins.
Agreed. Nakamura is like the boogeyman right now. And not the boogeyman from WWE. He's not eating worms, but he's like your horror fiction boogeyman. He's going to be the big name for LA Knight to get over the hump with. I also wouldn't be surprised if they gave Nakamura the title just to kind of give a little bit of shock value around it, or give him some sort of recognition. I mean, they did it with Jay when they gave him the Intercontinental title for 2 weeks, right? So why wouldn't they just do it for Nakamura for a hot second?
It could be a loss for LA Knight, but then maybe he gets it right back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next.
Sorry,
I didn't have a lot of meat.
No, that's fair. That's fair. We should have went into this after the women's U.S. title tournament, but Rhea's back. We know that team's complete. Nia beat Naomi, obviously with help, Friday night. Are you surprised Rhea's back this soon? Or do you feel like it was just writing on the wall that she was coming back?
Maybe too soon. Like, listen, I do like both of them, Liv and Rhea. We can't beat this feud into the deadness of a horse, though.
Yeah.
We've had too many. And if this leads to one more Liv and Rhea at some point, probably Netflix, I'm thinking. Like, Netflix is going to be loaded. I don't know if you guys have heard us say this now for 6 months. It's going to be loaded. People will want to watch the match again.
Yeah.
But it's getting... You can rekindle this a year down the line through a different story. And I know Liv has said that the revenge tour is over, essentially, because she has moved on from Rhea. Rhea's not allowing it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, I don't need Rhea in a mask if it's... Yes, she did break it, but I mean, is she really going to wrestle with it broken in this mask? We've seen the masks before, yada, yada, yada. I just don't want it force-fed, and it is right now.
Yeah.
Plus, she doesn't fit with anybody on her team.
That's fair. I mean, the history's there enough with her and Bianca that, well, to that point, Io, that there's enough history there to fit to throw her into that mix. Plus, with the Liv kind of tie-in, okay, fine. But Big Bronson Reed didn't fit in. Does not fit in with the bloodline, whatever. But it was a way to get Seth theoretically into the match itself. I would say the other thing to consider with this is if they went the path of Raquel versus Rhea, I think we're in a whole different boat. But they're sticking with the whole Liv, which shouldn't be the point right now. I think you have to go after Raquel, give it 6 months. Not saying fight with Raquel for 6 months, but Raquel, then fight your way back to Liv. That makes sense. But take down the biggest tree that's standing in your way right now.
That's Raquel.
And until you do that, should be where your focus is.
If they do that in the match, I will eat crow. Instead of having Ripley instantly come in and attack Liv. Because Liv will be in prior to Rhea coming in. Rhea is probably the last out of the team to come in. Just throw that out there.
Oh, 100%. They're protecting Rhea at that point. Plus, we know the outcome of the women advantage match that's going to come out. Even if it's not taped, the advantage is going to go to Team Nia in that.
Yeah. When was the last time, and we bring this up every year around Survivor Series, that the faces had the advantage?
Couldn't tell you.
Because it doesn't make sense in a match.
Exactly. it makes more sense for your heels to have the advantage, use it, and then have the last guy be the person that can save the day.
Right. Ta-da!
Simple wrestling logic 101.
It is. Next.
Okay.
Any?
Well, so Gunther looks like a schmuck.
Yeah. Thank you. This was 0.5, I think we're making. Wow. This really wasn't. I'm going to say this. This might be my spoiler. This really was his test run, wasn't it?
I think it was, which is sad.
Yeah.
He should have been as dominant. I'm going to go back to the point I think I made last week. To me, they have just proven how hard the heavyweight division is or the world title division, main card division is versus the mid card. Because he ran through the mid card with relative ease. The minute he stepped and smelled the world title picture in that, it got a lot harder. Took a big step back. Everybody agrees over here.
Charlie's pissed about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
You've hit your mute button, by the way, sir.
I thought I turned it back off. But he's just taken that step back where it's like Damien should not have been able to overpower him.
No.
At the signing once he had the sleeper in.
I wonder why. Because, okay, yeah, Gunther's been around wrestling for a while, and I'm not saying retirement's around the corner or anything like that. What are their plans then? They don't want Gunther to lose to maybe Randy at some point to get that, or maybe they really don't want Gunther Cena for Cena's. Like, those are all the ones running through my head. To get Cena that title, to get Randy a title, to get somebody big that are like, oh man, Randy just beat Gunther. Does that make him go down a little bit? There's points of me that say, yeah, it does, because this is who you're pushing on us right now. And I don't mean pushing bad. This is who you're pushing on us right now. Or, why can't he beat one of those guys?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe that's what it is. That he drops because of whatever, wishy-washy, 666 days, into the King of the Ring, winning that. He hasn't had that break for 3 years.
Yeah.
The OC, the Orange Cassidy mentality that we're going. Everybody needs a break every once in a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
He needs a break. He's been doing due diligence. He hasn't prepared. So I can put the pieces of the story possibly together, because Gunther getting that win over Randy maybe, or maybe he's the one after Cena gets it that dethrones Cena to give Cena, maybe Cena, and we don't know this, maybe Cena is getting the title to do the a la passing of the torch to Gunther at SummerSlam.
Yeah. And that's 100% where my head was going, was maybe they're weakening him up, drop the title, and then Gunther maybe takes a break, but he builds himself back up, wins the King of the Ring again, and then just steamrolls Cena and ends the 17th world title reign. That is a likely scenario for them. It also creates for them, despite his age, a future star with Damien. Inserts him as a main event player.
Maybe your next Randy Orton.
Well,
I'm not saying maybe not accolades around him.
Right.
Because Randy's got so many accolades, but I think Priest could be that Orton.
He could be. My thought was this is just establishing Gunther and Priest for this generation or this next 5 to 10 years. They're always going to be neck and neck with each other. no matter who's on the other side, no matter if it's Cody Rhodes or if Cody Rhodes is in his own little atmosphere, then Gunther and Damian are on their own little path.
Yeah. So I actually like it, Jenks.
Okay.
You're...
I want to see more.
Okay.
I need to see where it goes for me to like it.
So if we're picking Priest, okay?
Yeah.
Not that we're making a prediction or anything, but we're just rambling right now. We're picking Priest to win this. How long and to who? Is it Cena from Priest?
I don't think it's Cena.
I don't either.
I think Priest is maybe a few months, drops it to whoever should be defending it against Cena, and then runs with it there. Although, what a way to bring Gunther back into the fold. Let's say he drops it to Priest. Priest drops it to Cena at Mania. We get the Summer of Cena, and then Gunther topples Cena. Gunther then reestablishes himself as, I've beaten the man that has beaten you. So therefore, I can still claim I am better than you.
I like that. I like that more than anything. Hey, by the way, Ethan's super excited the holiday pies are back at McDonald's. I just got a picture of one, so he's stoked. Like, I'm worried about what he's doing in life sometimes. He sends me a picture of a holiday pie.
And then that's, you know what, I think he's doing all right.
I think he's doing all right, but hopefully he's bringing one home.
Nope. You only get a picture of it. You only get the picture. You have to be there to get it.
See what I got tonight, Dad? Awesome. Thanks, buddy.
Now go get your own.
Back to WWE because we're hooligans.
You can pick up one on your way to do some cheese tomorrow. That's all I'm saying.
There's not a McDonald's in between myself and
I
cheese
don't know where
factory.
you go with smoked cheese.
It's 3 miles down the road. Our closest McDonald's is 10 miles away.
Well, there you go. I did not know that. So, yeah, fair enough. All right. Where do I want to go here? I mean, Braun Breaker technically beat Sheamus. Well, I guess it's no contest. He retained his title.
Yeah.
So there's not much to comment here besides, is Sheamus going to get a rematch again in the future for this?
I think it would be, as much as Sheamus has done for WWE and, doing football games and this, that, and the other thing, I would feel ashamed if he doesn't become a Grand Slam champion at this point.
Yeah. Get that one title that's eluded him.
Even if it is for 30 days.
Yeah. Even if it's till Rumble, say.
Yeah.
Maybe he wins it on Netflix and doesn't get it back, and then gives it right back at Rumble.
Yeah. Probably for Braun again. Like, Braun's going to rack up a lot of mid-card titles.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. They're almost building him up as a robot that learns, if you will. So bear with me with this.
So he's RoboCop.
Maybe. So he fights Sami Zayn, loses to Sami Zayn. Then he destroys Sami Zayn, right? He learned from his previous match. So he got the title. Back. Then he fights Jey Uso, loses to Jey Uso. 2-3 weeks later, beats Jey Uso. He learned from that match. So then, hold on.
God bless you.
Thank you. So then, he fights Sheamus. It goes to no contest.
Which isn't a match, then.
Which isn't a match. So technically, he doesn't learn anything from this. Because he doesn't know if his game plan was going to be a losing one. Fight Sheamus again. Theoretically loses to Sheamus. But then maybe beats him 3 or 4 weeks later. I think he's somebody that they're building up. A, yes, they're calling him a badass, but I think he's B, turning into somebody that can lose, learn from it, and immediately turn back around and amend their game plan so that he can beat you with it at a later date and time.
Yeah.
Which is a unique, smart way to build up a big man like him, an athlete like him, because usually you steamroll opponents. And we've had conversations at the show where we said that he should be steamrolling the hell out of Sammy, etc. But now they're making him into more of a thinker, right along with his Uncle Scott, and to push him forward, right? So he's learning from his mistakes in those previous fights.
Which carries for years then, though. Like, this isn't Dash and Cody Rhodes. This isn't any name that you could throw out there. This is a hell of a game plan for when him and Roman meet, or him and Gunther meet for, like, the big boy titles and everything. I like what they're doing with him. And you know how it takes me a while to wrap back around to people. I like it because it makes you think, oh, okay. It's not just here's a story and you understand the whole story.
Right.
His story is being built. That's not built from day one.
Yeah.
That he does his homework.
Yep. Does his homework, learns from his past, and moves forward.
Which we all should.
Exactly.
God doesn't break promises.
No, he doesn't.
He does his homework.
He does his homework. He does his math work a lot.
Oh, he does.
Does his math homework. All right. Bo's Bray. Bray's Bo. I don't like that they got outsmarted.
Like
they got outsmarted. That should never have happened.
Yeah. You said probably a month ago that they need to get off of this. Get ready. This tour for Bray, essentially. I think this is getting them off their tour for Bray.
Yeah, but it's also steering Bo right into the Wyatt thought process, right?
Yeah.
Because that promo Monday night was very, very heavy in Bray imagery.
It was.
Is he going to become a fiend?
I hope not. Because then, one, we're still on the tour.
Mm-hmm.
And two, you're not as good as your brother.
Yeah.
Don't ruin it. There was a Razor Ramon and there was a fake Razor Ramon. Think of that. That's what this would be compared to in my brain.
The only way it could work is if they find a way to evolve the Fiend character to be more than just Bray's alter ego. It would have to be a possessive entity, a demonic entity that can possess you when you're at your weakest moment. There's a very, 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 very thin, fine line you can do to make that work. You have to toe that line to get it to where you want it to be. I don't know.
I don't know it.
I don't know it either. But what I do know is I'm very hesitant to believe that Bo could carry that line.
I just said that he's not his brother.
I know you did. But I'm not also saying he's not his brother. He doesn't have to be his brother to toe that line. He has to be his own person that is possessed by this thing.
Right. By the fiend.
By the fiend.
The fiendness.
The fiendness. How do you preserve it from being a hokey possession versus a meaningful, dark possession?
In my mind, you can't.
Yeah.
And I want to bring up one person who's going to be returning sooner than later, but not like this week or anything. I think Alexa Bliss is going to step away from all of that and be back to maybe not a queen, maybe not spiteful, maybe whatever. Alexa Bliss is going to be not involved in this whatsoever.
No.
So you can't even say, well, tie her in because maybe she's actually the one that's had the power to make Bray Bray. Because I've heard some of this. I think the passing hurt Alexa.
Yeah.
She wants nothing to do with this from here on out. My thoughts, don't go on her page and jump on her or anything, but I think she's like, I need to be the next rendition of Alexa Bliss and put the darkness in the past.
I would agree. But I think they would try, at least with the Nikki portion, to get a feud out of that, if you will, because not right away. I think it would take a little bit of time, but I think at some point the paths would need to cross.
Maybe. For me, it would be a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, it would be a tough pill for a lot, but there's so many loose ends that are left there, especially with how she turned on him at WrestleMania 37. From a fan standpoint or from a storyline standpoint, how do we clean that up? How do we look back at that?
Because WWE has cleaned up all their storylines, right?
I'm not saying that, but I think there's an opportunity here to make this work where it still respects the line.
Okay. Prove me. I'm that guy. I need it then.
I hope they prove me right, but I can't guarantee that they will.
Yeah.
I don't have much else. You got anything else in WWE?
No. I'm shocked that we made it that far on WWE, honestly. So kudos to you for directing that train.
More than welcome. I can do that sometimes. I had to make up for the forgetting about collar and elbow, which you can save 10% if you enter code CanCrushers at. So
yeah.
You
can. But you can save 15% off by Blackett in the show notes.
That's fair. That's fair.
You can get all types of apparel, from football to drinking to what did you get? Oh, you got one of those.
Drinking. God. You got the God one. Maybe.
Did I?
Maybe.
Or did I get a dog one? Which is God backwards.
You did, though. Oh, man.
Or did I get a gym rat one?
I think you got the coffee one.
Or I got a coffee one.
There's a ton of them out there, folks. There's America going on.
America.
Fuck yeah. All right.
Out of nowhere. Let's transition to AEW real quick. I think our AEW segment here is going to be quick because we're going to have a lot to say on Full Gear.
Yeah. I don't know if there's much to tie off with AEW here besides there's a lot of setup for this weekend. For Full Gear.
Very heavy on chatting.
Yes. Everybody had to talk to Renee, and if you didn't talk to Renee, you probably got fined.
Yeah, I would bet this week.
Yeah. That was 100% because Renee was after every single fucking thing.
Yeah. Everything. Hey, there's Renee. Hey, there's Renee.
Renee's back. Do you have anywhere you want to go with it?
Really, I don't even want to be a dick about it. No. Because we're clearly getting Julia and Hayter. And that's
yeah, I was going to go there because they're not going to be at Full Gear. No. But we're going to get that at some point.
Or are they? We're not getting a match of them at Full Gear.
There you go. Maybe we get a crossing of the paths at Full Gear. Or Hayter's cutting an interview in the ring, and that's when Julia comes back.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the rest will all make sense in predictions when we kind of...
Yeah, the one I'll say now, because I know they don't have a match at Full Gear, is we just had to make Ishii stalk Jericho for 5 minutes, or were we killing airtime? Were we?
It was something short.
Cut? Yeah.
But what was short? Because I'm not saying when matches were on, they were long. Because, like, Bob against Joe Keys and Cheeseburger was like, oh, wow, Bob's really not even getting a match.
Also, low-key troll by Tony Khan with that. Because if you know Bob, he's got his own cheeseburger eating YouTube channel or whatever it is. He reviews cheeseburgers.
Cheeseburger's a real wrestler.
I understand that. I'm just saying it's a perfect pairing for Bob, because it's cheeseburger channel and all of that stuff. I know Cheeseburger's an actual athlete and is actually pretty good in the ring. So, yeah, I do understand that. But
yeah, we'll do a lot of AEW and predictions. So, in wrestling itself, do you have anything across the board then?
I don't think in wrestling itself. I think we're ready. I think we're ready for predictions at this point.
All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back with AEW predictions.
Hey, this is Base Jesus Billy Starks, and you're listening to the Out of the World podcast of Can Crushers.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. It is now time for our predictions to Full Gear. Are you ready? Are you in full gear to make these predictions?
I am breadcrumbing our way to Full Gear.
All right. As long as you're breadcrumbing.
What did you say it was? Earlier? About 2 hours ago? I don't know. I forgot. I didn't write it down.
Well, I like breadcrumbing our way to Full Gear.
Okay, good.
I like it. All right. Are we, am I defending here, or are you still working your way back to challenge me?
I deserve one just for getting Blackout is another sponsor.
Well, that's true. You do.
Buy Blackett. 50% off. It's in the show notes.
I was going to say it's by Blackett, but we'll let it slide for that one. All right. Title's on the line. We currently have
97 matches.
10 matches, 1 championship celebration.
Right.
Okay. We've already discussed that one. So we know that's not going to be a part of the prediction. So we get 10 matches, and one of them...
So we could tie.
We could. We theoretically could. But one of them is on 0 Hour, and it includes Big Boom AJ versus QT. Mark's already done.
No.
No?
I fucking hate these two. So.
You may hate them, but you know they're going to win, right? We won't count this one. We'll make it 9 matches for the overall pay-per-view. They're going to be QT.
I know.
So. He despises them.
I do. Absolutely. Disgusted with this. Thank God. Thank God. I can't watch it live, and I have to sit through that. So when I go to watch it, when I watch it, the 0 Hour is there, I know to fast forward an hour.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because that's going to dominate it. That and whoever the fuck the Rizzler is. I don't know who the fuck that is, but... All right. Let's talk actual wrestling.
Thank you.
Let's start. I think this one's going to start the night, so I'm going to start here. MJF and Roderick Strong. Go ahead.
What going on in this? Yeah. What going on in this? Roddy is clearly a pawn for what's going on for the next 3 months. Again, it's just written. It's written that I don't know if it even matters if Roddy wins this match. Because Cole's coming out, Kyle's coming out, yada, yada, yada. Like, this is... I said it last week, that Cole's going to have to get to Kyle before he gets to MJF. Good, bad, or indifferent.
Right.
This story is only leading to Cole and MJF.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I don't care who wins this match, because the story is more prevalent to where they're going to take us than this match, in my mind. So Mark's going to take MJF.
So is Mike. But I think it's going to be... It's just a bump in the road. It was a swerve that they took with this.
Because we all thought it was going to be a triple threat.
We thought it was going to be a triple threat. Honestly, I thought it was going to be a one-on-one. Somehow, maybe Lance Archer was going to pull out a victory and get one for the big guys, but he didn't do that. But then we thought it was a triple threat. But then AEW actually did something smart. They put over one of their champions, a young guy who's a champion, put over Takeshita, which is absolutely amazing in its own right. So it swerved us a little bit here. But at the end of the day, the build is MJF Cole. Whether Roddy's involved, whether Kyle's involved.
Me or you, anybody.
Anybody, it's MJF Cole. Bar none. So I'll take MJF.
So do we get a match? Do we get a good 5 to 7? And is that when Cole comes out, or is it after the match? And this isn't part of the predictions that we will hold each other for, but when does Cole come out in this match?
Cole's coming out during I think it's like after maybe 10. Cole come out, and then it's going to be, Cole distracted Roddy, and Roddy lost the match. Yeah. That type of scenario. So then we'll have tension between them, him and Kyle, because Kyle's speech on Wednesday night kind of plays into this a lot. There's going to be that whole triangle mess that's going to happen with MJF barely escaping.
And I know, telltale sign is MJF Cole is definitely what we're going to. What the hell is MJF going to be doing for, have it be a month, have it be whatever, because this isn't wrapping up soon.
No.
But what's MJF do? Is he just there to wrestle one match and get another
movie deal?
Month off to go wrap up the movie, just to do promos? Or because MJF doesn't need to wrestle anybody. Well, this is going on between those three.
No. I think MJF's there to just have vignettes and say how you doing. That's about it. He just reminds us that he's there and he's bigger than everything going on right now in the company.
Between these three, yeah.
Yeah. And I think he wrapped up whatever he was doing before, but he's probably picking up another project, to your point. MJF's going to be bigger than AEW.
Sooner than later.
Later, and that's going to be a very big problem for AEW.
Yeah. He's not on their product. It's almost like Roman not being on WWE.
Yep. Pretty much. All right, let's go to Will and Kyle for this one. I've been debating this, and I think I'm going to go out on a bit of a limb of sorts. I think Kyle wins because of Mark Davis. This is a turn. This is Will Ospreay's putting over Kyle here to help him establish himself and help establish the Don Callis family. But I don't think they've already fought. Mark Davis is going to come side with Kyle, and it's going to be he's going to be Kyle's heavy going forward.
And I know, I'm agreeing, by the way, so it's really not that much difference here, Can Crushers. Will's in line for the title soon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying sooner than later, but soon. We need to fill some time. Will never have the Callis family away from him. So maybe he gets Kyle again, but he's got to beat Mark Davis first. He's got to go through Archer, yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think this is a one-off. This is probably going to be another Dynamite main event or, something down the line again. But before the shenanigans happen, this could possibly be the match of the night.
Oh, 100%.
Let them cook for a while before shit happens.
Yeah. I will move us towards what could possibly be the other match of the night. Takeshita and Ricochet for the international title. And anytime you have Takeshita involved in a match, it could be match of the night. What do you think here?
It could be. I often think that they want to give a WWE person a title quickly as he comes over.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they need to with Ricochet. And I think it does a little bit of disservice to Takeshita if they take it off of him already.
Yeah.
Maybe something happens in this too. What? I don't know. I didn't wrap my head around it. Maybe, I'm not saying an injury because you need to have Ricochet on TV. So you can't injure him out or something like that. Something weird. You know what we haven't seen in a while, Sir Michael Jenks?
What's up?
This could be a draw. You have it wrapped back around again. Because this is a great match. I'm not predicting that. I'm just throwing shit out against the wall right now.
Okay.
I think the disservice to Takeshita hurts him in his stock right now. I don't think a disservice to Ricochet does. I'm taking Takeshita, but I'm rooting for a draw.
Okay. I'm rooting for Takeshita and staying with Takeshita on this one. Pretty much for everything you listed. Ricochet's going to take high-profile losses because he's a big name carrying that over from WWE. And he's going to be in that position for a few more months. I think he does eventually get a title, but it's not now. It's not at Full Gear.
Takeshita just got this. This is his time.
This is his time to run with it.
He is the Callis family.
100%. He's not testing waters. They don't test waters in AEW. You get the title, you run with it. Sink or swim, you're running with it.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of swim, let's go to Swerve versus Bobby because Swerve ran with the title and loved it. Swerve versus Bobby here. This was actually probably the easy prediction of the night because they're going to give it to Bob.
Yeah, Swerve got his big win
months ago.
Week. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Bob's getting this just because they have to establish Bob in their company. And Bob is the almighty.
Yes.
The Hurt Syndicate needs to be on a run of legendary proportions before it starts taking losses.
Yeah, it does. Because, listen, as wrestling fans, you know, the Hurt Business took a shit ton of losses on their way out.
Yeah.
And it kind of made them look a little hokey.
Yep.
Bob needs to be built back up. This does not hurt Swerve even clean. And I'm not saying it's going to be clean.
Yeah.
Even clean. You knew Wednesday night. You know, Swerve's got a chain and everything. Oh, the chain will be there. The chain will be around, probably.
Mm-hmm.
But the ref's probably taking the chain this time, not Bob.
Yeah.
Then a hell of a lot happens. The ref wakes up and Bob gets the win.
Yeah. As long as this is competitive, nobody's getting hurt in this scenario for Bob to pick up the victory.
No, not at all.
All right. Let's go to Hangman Adam Page versus Jay White. You know, this past week, Page was forsaken in some aspects of it. You saw the Twitter exchange with God, told him to shut up, was not having it, thought, you of all people know what's been going on with me. I think Jay White's already got his win. I think this is Hanger's time
Oh, you're going back to back. Okay.
I'm going back to back. I'm thinking Hanger takes the win here. He's unhinged. He needs to push forward. Jay White, no matter how they are booking him in AEW, is still treading water. And a loss to Hangman doesn't hurt you.
Last week we were both on Jay White winning this.
Yeah.
We really were. And I completely agree 100%. I'm gonna be a number one contender again after this. Hangman has done a lot. I'll go to the other side for AEW.
Yeah.
He's taken shenanigans and ran with them, and he's taken abuse and ran with it. But he found about God.
Mm-hmm.
And I completely agree. This is Hanger's time. And I don't know. We've said it before. We've never really gotten hate. I don't know if Jay White's ever going to be New Japan Jay White in AEW. It's going to be a hell of a match. Probably one of my most anticipated matches to see what they do for this. I just don't think Jay White becomes New Japan Jay White ever in AEW.
To become New Japan Jay White, the world title picture has to be significantly less crowded. And it doesn't seem it's going that way anytime soon. Ever.
So, and he's bigger than all the other titles but one. I think the Continental Classic maybe could be a Jay White title.
I could see that.
Other than that, he just lingers without.
He's just a hand.
Yeah. Yep.
On that note, it's time for the TNT title match. Daniel Garcia, Jack Perry. Who you got?
I really like Jack as TNT champion.
Yeah.
I really do. I really do. Danny deserves it. He does. Yeah. I think with everything going on with the Elite and Jack Perry, because sometimes he's Elite, sometimes he's just associated with him.
Right.
This is the time. This is the time to give Danny that shining moment, that wrestling title for Danny. I think it moves Jack into more of a crazier son of a bitch / psycho killer doing stuff like that. And Jack can now carry that without a title. Because what's Jack doing with the title right now? What's the Elite doing right now? Like, there's no tie-ins that is going to save him with the title. He needs to wrestle by himself tonight.
Yeah.
Danny's your new champion.
I don't think it's Saturday night tonight for Jack Perry to lose this title.
Ooh. And I'm all right with it.
My thought behind it is Jack Perry loses his title to somebody else returning.
Tonight?
I think somebody may return tonight. But it's about that time where I think Edge might show back up and start burning to take the title back at some point from Jack Perry. And my thought process is you face Edge or Adam Copeland, maybe he drops the title then, but it also catapults you into the world title picture. But maybe it's a competitive match. Maybe it's something outstanding. Maybe I'm overthinking this because maybe Jack has other dastardly plans in his own mind. But I don't think Danny's going to win this title. I think the kidnapping angle this past week
was his shine.
Because then, to your point, Jack's going to become dastardly and be this crazy sumbitch that's going to pull out all the stops. Well, getting kidnapped, slapped around, Chuck beat up a little bit. What's going to do it to you?
I was expecting more, by the way.
You
broke the headlights.
You broke the headlights. That was it. And you left him. You had remorse. Danny hasn't learned not to have remorse yet.
Because he's a wrestler.
He's a wrestler. But all the great wrestlers in the past have learned once you pass that no remorse line, you're in a whole other atmosphere. Take your Kurtz. Take your He Who Shall Not Be Named. Take your Bret Harts. You don't regret what you do in that ring.
Okay. That's going to be the one that separates us.
That will be.
Probably.
Maybe, yeah. Fatal 4-way for the AEW tag title match. I want to give it to the Outrunners because, goddamn, those guys from the 80s, they need it. However, I'm going to give it to the Kings of the Black Throne. I think Private Party's a transitional champion here.
Without a doubt. I guess to sum up this match for both of us, we gave them the titles last week.
Yeah.
More or less.
We did, yeah.
Because what we see here in the future in contracts and yada yadas, without a doubt, at least give the poor bastard one thing to hang his hat on while he was in AEW, Alistair, Malachi, whomever you are. Yeah. But are there possibly two transitional champions?
Potentially.
Private Party, clearly transitional. House of Black. And because the Outrunners have that good of a fucking showing in this match, do they maybe get a title match down the line with House of Black? Because you know how there's 4 of them right now.
Yeah.
House of Black, one of these 4 will be number 1 contender in a week or 2 again.
Mm-hmm.
Do they pull the Outrunners soon?
Maybe.
And they just catch them off guard?
Maybe that happens in this match. I know we made our prediction, but here's what I'll say to that. Outrunners, it's a 4-way match. You can pin whoever to win the titles. Outrunners catch the Acclaimed, who seem to be really much splitting up at some point. That'll throw a big old... That'll just drive the wedge deeper into that. Or Private Party, right?
I think that's who I think when somebody's taking the loss.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. Private Party's taking the loss. I think the Outrunners could catch somebody off kilter, and they're the transitional champions. Because, hey, we gave them their big pop. They're the big talk of the moment right now. Maybe in a week or 2, House of Black, Kings of the Black Throne kick their head off.
I would imagine. We both have House of Black winning. It's in pen. We're not changing. Yeah. But as we go down this path that we love, I love that. If they have the titles from Saturday to Wednesday,
yep,
and they come out and they make their own mockery of their own celebration, and they're like, we are looking for challengers right now. And then the Kings come out, we'll take you on. We beat you Saturday. So they have the titles for 5 days. Then House of Black runs.
runs for however long the contract runs.
Right. Either one of those. I will say this. We're both saying House of Black on Saturday. I can't guarantee shit. 97%. By the time we record, House of Black's champions. Have it be Saturday or Wednesday.
Yeah. Exactly.
I would I'll run up to Erie to give you a hug and run back home Sunday when we both watch Full Gear, by the way. Spoiler, we're not watching it live. Then you'll find out why when we do our What's to Do coming.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. TBS title. Mercedes and Stat. This one's you. First, I
hope Camille has made $75 million cajillion dollars because we say this every week. Man, she is just misused.
Mm-hmm.
Does she officially turn?
Bless you.
Me. Does she? I can't turn mine down as fast as Jenks does, so I didn't even try. Does she officially turn on Sasha Mercedes during this match?
I kind of feel like it. Right, she put her out the pasture on Wednesday with the bumped shoulder. Said, "Go fight." I almost feel like she has to at this point.
So I'm leaning Stat then to win this, due to the fact that if we have Camille doing that, which I think is a huge possibility, or is it she attempts to do it? Mercedes gets the win. Mercedes leaves her all for naught. And then Mercedes Camille is what leads us to the next thing. I know we both have predicted that it's a possibility that Britt gets thrown back into this. I don't know if that is anymore. I really don't.
Yeah. I'll say this. I think the possibility is this is a Wardlow 2.0 scenario where Camille does end up somehow costing Mercedes and then just walks away. And then we have questions during the week kind of thing. They'll turn it into that because it's the same storyline. Mercedes is abusing Camille. MJF abused Wardlow to do his dirty bidding, to do this, do that, and they got tired of it.
So you have Stat as well?
I'm going Stat as well.
Yeah. I completely... This says writing on the wall. Is it that Mercedes is heading back over to New Japan for a little bit to maybe
possibly
drop that?
Which lines up because Wrestle Kingdom's in 5 weeks.
Right.
So
she can return maybe when... I never thought I'd say this. Britt reestablishes herself.
Yeah.
In 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're only different on one so far.
And I don't think it's going to get any different. AEW World Title Match. Jon Moxley, Orange Cassidy.
I'm writing yours even before you get done announcing the match.
Yeah, I think this is Mox's to win. I don't think OC's winning this. I think he's just a sacrificial lamb.
Right. And gets beat even more afterwards to be saved by
who you got. Yeah. I wasn't sure if you were going to return there or not, so I wanted to give you your...
Yeah. No, it's Darby. For me, nobody else but Darby is the next champion.
See, this is where I'm starting to reconsider that notion. Darby's in the running, and Darby was pegged for it. But is Darby the next champion? Do they think Darby could be the champion? Or do they
Darby's definitely the next match.
Darby's the next match.
I'm not going back on my Darby championship, but Darby's definitely the next match.
I'm just throwing this out there. We talked about it. He's not doing anything we talked about it a little bit in the match earlier tonight. I think they're going to insert Will here at some point, and that's the champion. That's the guy that's going to beat Moxley. I think they'll have the AEW originals, but they're going to call Ospreay the AEW guy to take down Mox, because I don't think Mox is losing this title in the next 4 to 6 months.
I don't either. I'm not saying. I think Darby gets a match with Mox.
Darby does get a match.
He gets hurt.
Yeah, because he's got to go to Everest.
Right. But then the story's not over.
No.
Like, Mox is rifling through people for 4 to 6 months.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if you can throw anybody against Mox right now that you're like, oh yeah, he's going to beat Mox.
No. OC's the lamb. Darby's the lamb. Pick and choose who your next lambs are going to be. Lambs to slaughter.
Yeah. So to get Will there right now, I think would do, and I know we use disservice a lot. I don't think Will's ready at any time, as I'm throwing my hand in Jenks' face. Will's ready at any time, and we'll go apeshit crazy about it. I don't know if Mox's story is ready yet for Will.
When the time comes for Mox's story to be ready for Will, it will either be Double or Nothing, or more than likely something in London. All in London, whatever it is, because apparently there's an All in Texas and an All in London, I think I heard at one point.
Well, one's all in, one's all out.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Then I think that might be the end game.
Yeah. But we're a ways away from that.
We are a ways away from that.
And he needs to defend us every so often.
Which is why he's going to tear through every single AEW face that's been put in his play, been put in front of him. Darby, OC, Danny is going to get the shot at some point because he was in that final shot.
Yeah. That could be it then. Because he doesn't need to. We could get a tag match or
Anarchy in the Arena, or Blood and Guts, or whatever it is.
In the mix of this, that he's not defending it that night, but he's in the match against the four of them.
Yeah. Yep.
As usual in AEW, only one separates us. And is it because it's predictable? No, because normally on AEW, we get 3 or 4 right and we're fucked. We're like, oh, wow, we just don't know what the hell is going on.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
AEWs are worse to predict across the board.
Because it can be so crazy. It can be so unpredictable. It can be something else. And the wrestling is just, it's over the top.
It is. It really is. There's so many that I could swing the jack with you. I could say Takeshita could lose because maybe he's going back for a little bit too. Like Ospreay could beat Kyle easily. But I just don't know. These ones that you don't know. If you look at our predictions across the years, WWE just nailed. People are like, oh my God, you guys are just, all. No, we don't.
Yeah.
It's just the writings on the wall. AEW, we throw shit against the wall half the time.
And hope for the best.
We do.
There's times we were nailing it, and then that went away.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when I lost the title. I've had it for a year now. It almost got won by another podcast.
That's true. But
shout
it's
out
comfortably.
To we love them.
Yep. But you know what? It's still sitting comfortably on the champ's shoulders.
You have it in a freaking placard now, and you shine it, and you have Kimberly spit shining it every once in a while now too.
Sometimes we just bring it out and parade it around the house. That's the way it is.
Do you have a parade coming up? Thanksgiving parade in Erie? You gonna hope that you have it by then?
Yeah, I might just break it out for the engagement photos at this point.
You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. One last time, guys. Don't forget to check out our new sponsor, Buy Blacket. It is the first link in our show notes. 15% off of anything that you buy. A ton of different apparel and mugs. They're awesome. They really are. Go and buy some stuff up. There's got to be, other than the litany of stuff that we've hinted around and told you, from dogs to beer to gym to America to Christian to football, something hits your liking there. Oh, and we forgot to tell you the whole time, most of it's with comedy. So if you're an asshole like us, you'll definitely like Buy Blacket. Am I wrong?
I'm not disagreeing with you. So go out there, look at the merch, get what tickles your fancy, and enjoy it.
So we know Jenks has a crazy busy today. What's the rest of your week look like?
The rest of the week looks like we have Thanksgiving coming up. Anniversary is actually the day of Thanksgiving, so doing an anniversary dinner the day before, and then some other things going on that week. So it's a busy week. It'll be a busy week next week. What about you?
It is a busy week. I don't know nothing. I'm gonna just be home alone, stowing my oats. No. As you guys are listening, I'm probably several beers in because it is annual cheese fest. So,
he's smoking the cheese.
I am smoking the cheese. If you're in Ridgeway, find us. You'll smell the beer, and you know what makes me mad? Because I waited so long, Jenks, of course. I got it as of recording today. I always get a block of Cooper, and I always get a thing of mozzarella.
Yeah.
That we actually essentially end up ruining because it's usually the last one we smoke, and then it turns into pancakes. Nonetheless, nobody in and around the 10 miles had a whole block of mozzarella for me this year.
Really?
I don't know if it was everybody was like, oh my God, we smoked our mozzarella already last week, Mark. I should have ordered it.
Yeah.
So I have no smoked mozzarella coming this year because everybody was out of it. So my second's going to just be generic American, which is American cheese is one of Ethan's favorite. So we're going to smoke that. We also always have the hot pepper and the Munster and stuff like that.
Right.
I don't want to say generics, but the staples. So yeah, there's that. This week, 3 days of work, and then checking out for 12 days.
Nice.
See what we can get into around the house. And Jenks, don't we have, since it is Thanksgiving weekend and everything, we normally take a pause, right?
Yeah.
There won't be a live show, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
We'll do our full gear recap in 2 weeks, but don't worry, we do have a special coming up for you guys. You guys have been clamoring for a special.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to tell them?
Should we tell them?
I don't know. It might be the worst thing we could do if we tell them.
I think you're right. It might be the worst thing we do. Let's not tell them.
Okay, we're not going to tell you what it is then.
We're going to hint, but not tell.
Yeah. Make sure you listen next week as we have a special. It might be the worst special we've ever done. Probably sure it's going to be. But I want everybody to have a wonderful Thanksgiving. We love you for the love and support you've given us for years here on this podcast to get amazing sponsors like Collar and Elbow and WWE and Buy Blacket and Dubby and so on and so forth, Podurama and all those ones that kind of love us here on the show. None of it would have happened without you guys listening each and every week. December's always crazy. Always crazy. We have some of our favorite shows coming up. The Crushes is coming up on the 28th. So make sure you guys tune in for that. We have recaps, And then one of my favorite things that we always do on the Crushes, we find out what city loves us the best. Toronto has it right now, guys, for essentially was 2023, but we brag about it for 2024. Toronto had it. Council Bluffs was lingering around the top as well, so we always give them a huge shout out. Where is it this year? Where is it?
I want to know. I want to know too. Is Toronto holding on to the crown? Is there a new contender from overseas?
We just had Germany on the show.
It did.
Are they going to be able to take over in the final 6 weeks of the year?
No, calling that out. Get your town, get your country, get it the love it deserves, and push it up the rankings.
Let us butcher your town name, or let me butcher your town name for the next year.
Make us do geography lessons too, by the way.
Right. Because it breaks it down, and they just say, here's the town. And I'm like, I don't even know what the hell that's at. On that note, again, guys, Thanksgiving, one of my favorite holidays. Spend it with your family. And you know what we mean by family.
Yep.
It might not be your real family, but it's who gets you going, who rocks and rolls with you, who is by your side the whole time if you don't have a normal family. Whatever your family is, love them, celebrate, eat the fuck out of the sweet potato casserole, and go crazy.
Go nuts, pop your pants, enjoy it, love family, love who you love, and just be there for everybody and be thankful for it. Thankful for those people that you choose to sit around the table with and enjoy this holiday.
And acknowledge them. No.
Acknowledge them.
Remember, just because we're trash doesn't mean you can't do great things.
It's a garbage can. You're a garbage can, not a garbage can, not. Make sure you tell your loved ones that you love them and that they are not trash.
You never know.